here we are, take two.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Just forgot to press that little live button. So thank you all, everybody, for joining and hanging out there today with us. I am medium Kim Copeland. If you don't know me, I am a medium and also an energy healer. And I am so blessed to have two lovely guests joining us today to share their gifts with everybody. They both are visionaries. They both see things beyond this world into other worlds, and they are light workers. And Danielle hosts the Unordinary Made Ordinary.
Perfect.
You got it.
All right. And Michael is a shamanic practitioner. They both live in California. And Michael has a website, and that is called My Light Center.
Yeah, Mike at My Light Center.
That's your email address. She's saying your web address.
Oh, my web address.
Yes.
MyLightCenter.com. That's it.
MyLightCenter.com. Yes.
Yeah, mylightcenter.com. Okay, so anyway, we have several people here. We have several people from Shasta. So that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kelly and Jessica, Spirit Watcher Suzanne and SG, Mary Hubble, Amanda, hello, Kelly, Cat Mama, Ruthie, Star Midnight. Let me see here. Craig, hi Craig, Sonia, Akila, Warrior Girl, Samantha, Valerie. Okay, thank you all so much for joining today.
Great.
All right, so I want to just ask you first how you guys met. And I know, so just go ahead and just share how you all met, and because you're sharing a screen here, so you must be friends.
We are friends.
We are very good friends.
But we met because I bought a haunted house. And after being tormented for a very long time, and it had gotten worse and worse, and nobody could clear it, somebody suggested that I find a shaman. And so we found Michael here on Yelp, actually. And he wasn't going to come to my house and clear the house or anything.
Not that I didn't want to. I didn't really need to.
Yeah, so he had me come to his office, and I thought there's no way this is going to work in a million years. And I thought I walked into this new age craziness, and I didn't believe it would work. Mm-hmm. But he said that my root chakra was leaking and it was feeding the paranormal activity. And when he fixed my root chakra, it cut the energy to the spirits, in which case he threw them in the light. And I really didn't believe it was going to work. So it's not like my beliefs made anything different, the result different. I went home expecting the activity to be just as bad, and it was markedly better.
Wow. I've never heard of the root chakra leaking that would cause spirits to have interference. This is something interesting.
It made them like a lot stronger. And so every time people came over to sage the house or whatever, it just didn't work.
It wasn't the house. It was the individual. And that was Danielle's doing. It was attached to her, this entity, from childhood. Something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's been attached to her, and it followed her and hung out with her, and it was feeding on her energy. And so the more it hung around, the more energy it took from her, and the more afraid you become of it, it gave it power, more energy. So it was able to do more poltergeist things.
So that was in 2021, I think, January 2021, not even that long ago. But I remember the first thing he said when he opened the door was that I looked like I was he thought I was familiar, like we could be related. And I thought he meant genetically, like, yeah, we both look like we could be Irish, English, sure.
Yeah, Scotch Irish.
But he meant past life related.
Uh-huh.
I felt I knew her. When you felt somebody that's familiar to you and you don't know why or how, it's usually a past life connection.
Yes.
And so that's how I felt with her. And I said, you've been my sister. I know you, so I felt it right away.
I feel that too when you're saying that. And by the way, talk a little louder, Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Thank you. Because when you were just saying that, I got the chill. So, the angel goosebumps. Yes.
Great.
Yeah. So we were brother and sister when we were
in the Aztecs.
And then
or Mayans.
He was Imhotep in Egypt, and I was the Pharaoh Dozer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Pharaoh Dozer. I was Imhotep in Egypt, and I was Timon Akun in Mayan priest over in the Aztecs, and she was my sister at that time. I recognized her, I felt her, I remember her, and she was always trying to help me. So so that's why I felt that connection. I felt 2 or 3 connections. So I knew we're going to explore that. We're going to figure it out. We're going to know who we are. And I'm glad we did. It's like I found my lost long relative.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I had made sort of a decision at that appointment that I was never going to let my chakras get out of whack like that again. I'm just going to keep seeing Michael, because for me to leak energy and create this havoc in my life, I'm never, so I see him. I can tell when they're off now, and I'll text him and say, get me in.
Okay, nice. So, but it's amazing that it was for such a long time, since childhood. So I have some people asking, and Craig, I'm so sorry. This morning, I know I made a mistake. I put AM and it's supposed to be PM. I'm so sorry, Craig. Thank you for coming back. Hi, Amanda. I think I said hello to you. But some people want to know, how does a spirit watcher wants to know, how does one know if they have an attachment? We're going way off topic. Let's go ahead and what do you think? How does one know? What do you think, Michael?
Well, it's energetically. You can feel it and see it. I can see it. I'm clairvoyant. And we all are, really. We just have to learn how to use it.
Yes.
And exercise is it's like exercising.
Sure.
The more you use it, the more you're able to see and feel and connect.
Yes.
So I have a lot of practice, 40 years practice.
But what if we feel like, would an attachment wreak havoc? I guess that's would an attachment would we know if things weren't going right in our life? And are all attachments negative, or can they also be positive?
They could be positive. It could be that they have a mutual agreement, like maybe they're codependent from a past life and they're attached and they can't let go. And I've seen that. I've seen plenty of that. I've seen mother-daughters.
Yes.
And mother-daughters and mother and son. I've dealt with those. They act like they're one person. They're attached, so connected.
Yes, I know. I've seen that too. I've seen one time when the mother passed, she went right to the daughter, but it actually wasn't that beneficial for her. She could tell. Yeah. But so it's not always just because mother-daughter doesn't always mean it's, Yeah.
But
good.
But in that fashion, it's really not a healthy thing for neither one. So I was able to break them apart and get them to be individuals again.
Yes. Okay. So Michael, are you? And I'm going to probably go back and forth a little bit, because I wanted to say, I know you're a shaman, and is there? Well, I want to maybe get to that for a minute, but I know shamans. Maybe just tell us what a shaman is, for people who don't know.
Well, I'm a 20th century shaman.
Okay.
I'm not your typical shaman, because I know energies really well and I know how to deal with them. Somebody mentioned one time that, hey, you're just like a shaman. I go, I am? Okay, I'll be a shaman. And so that's how it started. And everybody started calling me a shaman, because I know the energies so well and I have all the answers to the energy work and understand them well. And so that's how it stuck. And I've been doing it for 40 years. It's amazing.
Okay.
It seems like yesterday I just started.
I see. Yeah. Okay. 20th century shaman. I like that. 20th century shaman. Okay. And Danielle, I know, works a lot with the fairy realm. And I know myself to be part of the fairy realm as well. I think I associate myself with anything that flies, whether it's angels, fairies, dragonflies, birds, butterflies. So tell me about, how do you associate yourself, and how did you come to know yourself from the fairy realm?
Well, after the house was cleared and there was no longer negative stuff here, I woke up one night. Well, actually, I wasn't sleeping. I was having a hard time sleeping. And at the end of my bed, where my feet were, like, how your feet are up when you're on your back, I saw this head peeking around my feet. And then it ducked in when I saw it, and then it went on the other side of my feet and looked that way, and it ducked real quick, and went again on the other side. I'm like, what is that? It was, I thought honestly it was a gray alien because it was gray, it looked bald, but it turned out to be a golem. So my house had a golem. And that was my first interaction with anything from the fairy dimension. It wasn't actually a fairy, but it was a golem. Then next thing you know, I've got, I started making a fairy garden in the front yard. I had all these fairies move in. Now my house has like 50 of them. I've got gnomes running around, and sometimes I'll just see them with my eyes, like not my third eye, but like, but they started, as I was laying in bed at night, I'd be like, close my eyes to go to sleep, and these fairies would start popping in my third eye and like showing me what they look like. So I started drawing them, and they really like to be drawn, I think. And they do this thing where like, you know, like see, so you could see them real good. Like they kind of pose, or their hair would be blowing in the wind. I'm like, you're hilarious. You know, but they want to make sure I get a good look so I could draw them.
They're cute.
Wow. So about what, you know, because I've seen fairies too, but what would you say the size is? A normal? Is there a normal, by the way?
I think they're like pretty small, but then I've got one that's human size.
Yes.
Okay.
Around.
One night, the human size fairy came out. We couldn't believe it. I go, oh my God, what's this?
I didn't even know they got that big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And I know I've seen gnomes in my garden as well, objectively. So beautiful. Do you feel like the gnomes and the fairies work together?
I think they're from the same.
They're from the same realm.
The same dimension.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of those, the like elves, the trolls, everything. There's so many. I draw so many. Even this one, like water ones, like plant. They look like plants, like hybrid. I don't know what to say they are, but I think they're all from that
Middle Kingdom.
He calls it Middle Kingdom. So the
Middle Kingdom. Okay. Yes.
Call it the Fey realm, or.
No.
Yes. Okay. Good.
It's in between the physical realm and the spiritual realm.
But I have a couple of portals here at my house to that dimension.
Okay.
One's in the bedroom behind me, one's in the garden, you know, so I get a lot of activity from them.
Okay. And do you feel like you've created the portals yourself, or was it already there?
I think they were there.
Okay.
Because I've been blaming the ghosts and the paranormal activity on all my stuff going missing. But come to find out that the golem has been here stealing stuff all along.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, we named him Precious from like Lord of the Rings. My Precious.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you, do you feel that the fairy realm, and that includes all of them, are only on Earth, or are they on the outside of the Earth, or are they inside of the Earth, or are they on another planet? I mean, what do you have any idea?
Well, it's another dimension. It's like in the astral plane, so to speak, but their own dimension. So they do resonate with Mother Earth. They are part of her energy, part of her life essence. And there's a lot more Middle Kingdom, I don't know what you call them, beings. That can, I've seen a lot in my time. Different ones that you never even imagine that could be.
The Middle Kingdom. Now, I think of the below Earth too. Would you consider that the below Earth?
Yeah, there's a below Earth kingdom
Some
too.
of them are. Yeah. That's those plant ones that I've drawn. They live underground.
Yes.
There's some that are underground.
Okay. And do you have some pictures that you want to share now? I would love to see
the fairy ones. I'll open up that part of my iPad.
Because so you guys, everybody, I want you guys to know that Danielle is an exquisite artist, and she drew. Now this is, maybe you can tell us in a minute.
This is a woman's spirit guide. It's a purple fairy.
Oh wow!
Is she beautiful?
She's really pretty. I've drawn, like, this one's a male. That's somebody's spirit guide as well. His name's Jerome.
Oh, Jerome.
Is that in the fairy realm? Would you say fairy realm? Oh wow!
He's small. He doesn't have wings, but they all seem to run on air if they don't have wings. This one was the one that did that with her hair, like it was blowing in the wind.
Oh my goodness, that's what we think of as typical Disney fairy, right?
Right.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
They have a different face structure a lot of times. So this one lives underground, and he's one of the plant hybrid ones.
Goodness. Okay.
Like the root
people. Like the root people.
Yeah.
I call them nature spirits.
But I think they still are together. There was another underground one, this guy, from the movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The guy had one in his pocket through the whole movie. We were watching that movie, and this guy popped into my daughter's head. She's all, "Oh, we've got those outside."
See that? Can we see that again, please? Just hold it up a second. So it's a plant, and I see.
He's got a little face.
Wow, beautiful. That is really amazing, beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, I've got this is Precious, my golem.
Oh, that's Precious. Okay, so what is Precious's role now for you?
Well, Precious took off because I was trying to catch him on my cameras. I put up like surveillance cameras because nobody's going to believe me at all. But he manifests physically in our dimension and runs around. Like we see him with our eyes, run up the driveway, run by the windows of the house, peek in and all that. So I put up cameras, and he didn't like the cameras. So now he took off, but he comes around sometimes.
That's amazing.
He's great. He's really funny.
What else do you have? Do you have more?
Yeah, I've got like these little Peter Pan kids.
Oh, now would
they're bigger? They're not little. They're bigger.
Okay, are those on the top of the earth, in the middle earth, or are they below?
They're on top.
Okay, and can they go from on top of the earth to below the earth? Move that way?
They could, but they resonate more with the frequency on top.
Okay.
Yeah, they can.
My golem has basically like a hobbit hole type home under my home in another dimension, not this dimension. There's no hole, but he would just jump through the ground basically. So and all that stuff that he stole from my house is down there.
Wow, that's amazing.
He is a little bit of a klepto. This one lives in a lake nearby. It's called an amabier.
Okay.
So it doesn't have arms, but it has 3 fish tails, and it's underwater.
Oh my goodness, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So there's a lot of these things around that come pay me a visit over here. That's the blue fairy in my garden. No wings. She runs on air.
Oh wow. Okay, she runs on air. Now, Cozumel Liz is just saying, I live in Mayan country and was fortunate to see a live aluche, or a version of a fairy.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
I bet you regionally they have different things. The amabier is in Japanese folklore. And I find that a lot of the characters from Japanese folklore seem to be just as real as our fairy tales.
Okay, right. Oh, okay, interesting. So amazing. This is really, I think even just talking about fairies, don't you think that would help invite them in to our lives?
Yes.
They like to be talked about, I think.
Yeah. They love to be, the middle of the topic.
Yeah, they're funny.
Oh, they want to take over.
My daughter and her friends are all reincarnated fairies. This is a troll.
Okay. Yes.
I don't think they're around anymore. The current troll that I had around my house was a little blue one. And I had also this purple guy running around.
Oh, wow. Oh, my.
And they were real cute. And the purple guy, I mean, like I drew him to size. That's my bed. I think the purple one was about 3 feet tall.
Oh, so you do drawings for people? Because Spirit Watcher Suzanne saying you are doing drawings for her.
I am. I meditated and saw her spirit guides. I saw 3 of them. And I'm working on, well, I finished one drawing for her, hers Arcturian spirit guide named Gloria. She's a human hybrid.
She's beautiful.
And I saw her spirit animal, so I threw the boa in there.
Yeah, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I know. I
Beautiful.
like that one. I'm working on her other one, but I know it's not right yet. And it's this pre-mantis. It's definitely not right. I'm still working on that one.
Okay. No, that looks nice. Beautiful. So do you feel like with our earth changes, it doesn't matter at all that our earth is warming up? Because if we're in this dimension, it probably doesn't affect them. But
Not
maybe
really.
it does. No?
Not really. You know, they don't have the same elements, you might call it, or be affected by the same elements that we do. So it's nice. It's pleasant and nice for them all the time.
That's why they barely wear anything most of the time. They're barely wearing anything, even in the winter.
Even in the winter.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you happen to know, like, if people, like, for instance, I know that my way distant past, if I somehow visited, I was on a different planet, they had a lot of fairies or something like that. For people that are resident, that feel more fairy-like or whatever, would the fairies be drawn to them, or do they pick, or how do they know where to go? You know what I mean? Is that
fairies?
Yes.
Well, they resonate with the frequencies, so there will be, and it's electromagnetic energy, so that's the life force. So they'll be automatically drawn to certain individuals.
I see.
That resonate the same frequency.
Okay. So you could live in a concrete jungle and it doesn't miss. So you don't have to live in the forest and it would still. Okay.
No, you can live anywhere.
Okay. That is so nice to know.
Oh, yeah. Anybody.
Yeah. But you know, I do think when I go to a 3D garden, I see the fairies easier there.
Okay.
And more objectively.
Okay.
You know, I feel that.
But the life force is stronger there, so you will feel them in a garden.
Okay.
Yeah, because they resonate more with Mother Earth, on that level.
Okay. Okay. So because one time when I saw this little Nomi in my garden, and I just said, well, what do you want? What do you want? And I heard mint for my tea.
Oh.
This is all very 3D, but I could see his little shoe popping out, and there's a red shoe, and he was very proud of his shoes for some reason. But it's like plant mint for or chamomile for my tea.
Okay, nice. I like that. Yeah. Our energies can create almost anything, with the fairies. Yeah, it's amazing what can be created just from the energies and frequencies. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm assuming they would use the energy of that plant, the mint, or for their tea.
Yeah. Well, mine like me to leave alcohol out for them.
Okay. For what? Just for
they party. They like to party.
Yeah.
And I'll do a little shot glass. I usually put some little fruit flavor in there for them, like a vodka and some juice or whatever. And that drink goes down, like the liquid goes down. It doesn't.
Oh my goodness. You better start charging them. No.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's a thimble. It's a tiny shot glass.
Okay.
When they want, they can choose to be more physical than spirit, so they go back and forth. That's what's nice about being a fairy at one time in your soul journey, because a lot of individuals that have been that are human now have been fairies.
Yes.
In their past lives.
Yes.
Like Morgan.
Yeah, my daughter and all her friends, they seem to be this big soul group of reincarnated fairies.
Yes.
So interesting.
My daughter also is like attracting this stuff to the property,
Totally. She attracts.
Okay.
Yeah. She can't help it. She attracts this, fairy energy.
Yes. So if the fairies had something to tell us, or anybody from the nature realm, what do you think their message would be today?
Well, I know they're trying to create love and nurturing and wholesome energy, around and through us, with us. So, so because we act like we feel like we're missing that element in our lives. So they'll come in and supply that, and it makes you feel happy, loving, caring, so that's their purpose. And I feel that a lot, and I can call on any of them, and they'll come around if I'm feeling in a bad mood or a bad day or something. They cheer me up. So I like that,
Yes.
And a lot of people can do the same thing if they really want to connect. And fairies do try to connect with people.
Yes.
And they're automatically want to connect with them because they feel like they need to, and they do. A lot of times it works, and a lot of times it doesn't work. But that's part of their service to life on the planet.
Okay.
To bring
us more light,
more light and love, and nurturing.
Yes. And probably also a little just lightness in general. I mean, lightness of heart.
Yes.
And humor.
He's told me at one of my appointments, he said, like, for my spiritual journey, it shouldn't be like the tarot card where it's the hermit and the lantern. That it should be the baby, like, laughing on the back of the horse, like, or whatever.
Yes.
Like, everybody's
the sun.
So serious. Yeah, the sun card.
The sun card.
It should be more fun and more joy and light, a lot lighter.
Yes. Everybody, I hear this all the time from spirit, all the time.
Okay.
Always follow your heart, follow the joy, and then if everything else, just let it go and not worry so much, right?
Wow.
Okay, so this is awesome. Now, let me just see if I had any other things. So if people wanted to, say, connect more deeply with fairies, I know you were talking about a fairy house, and I used to have a fairy house when my kids were little. Does that help, invite them in closer, do you think?
Absolutely. You're inviting them there.
I feel like it does. Oh, totally. Yeah, like I only had one fairy hanging around, and I built a whole fairy RV park. It's quite extensive what I've done out there for them.
My gosh.
So like I've got a deck outside with a table where I gather with my friends. So I made them a little table so they can gather right next to us and be by the party. So everything that I have, I give them the same. In fact, all the fairy houses I've built, I actually open them and I put artwork of them reduced with little frames. I mean, I could get, while you talk to Michael, I can find one, but they're so cute, and I glue them inside the houses.
Yes.
I make tables, beds, everything for them. I hand stitch little pillows. Like I go all out on their houses.
Okay. I used to do things like that when I don't know. I haven't done that lately, but I understand what you're saying. Yes. Thank you. Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, this is a big one, but this is one of the little framed.
Oh, wow.
So
nice.
This was a little guy that was on my bed. This is actually a big frame. Like a lot of mine are just this. For the fairies, it's this big. For the gnomes, they're bigger. They're more like the size of a rat. Mm-hmm. And so they can have something like this in one of their houses.
Okay. How fun. And especially, I mean, for kids, right? To open up our imagination for everybody who has kids, grandkids, or whatever. That's such a wonderful idea. I'm just getting chills on that.
Hanging pictures of fairies on your walls, or having decorations in your house that are fairy themed.
Totally.
I think they love it. And honestly, when I give him a print of one of my golem, my precious, he ended up getting his own golem.
I got my own for a while there.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Wow. So it's going to be a busy house. If you invite the fairies, you got the angels, you got the gnomes. It's a busy bit. Better that than other things, right?
Yes.
I'll take it.
Yes. Okay. So Michael, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So I know you're the 20th century shaman.
Okay.
So do you work with the earth as well, the earth energy, and like helping connect with the earth? I'm assuming part of your work is that.
Oh yes, I do connect with Mother Earth, and she resonates with all of us because we are Earth. We are from Earth. So if we take care of ourselves, we're helping take care of Earth. So it's important. She's learning to grow and to evolve with us. So she allows us to have these vehicles that become us. And then that essence of us gets to go with us. When we pass over, and that adds to the collective. So Mother Earth is evolving. That's why we're here. We're learning growing and helping Mother Earth to evolve.
Yes, yes.
You know, so
That is one.
our lives are very important to help, you know, with nature and life here on the planet. You know, so we can evolve.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
That yes, we have to remember we are each an important soul here helping Earth evolve.
Absolutely. Without us, Mother Earth could not evolve.
Yes, yes.
She needs us, and we need her.
Yes. And is it true? I think I heard, is it 1% is that tipping point when we have 1% of the population in the light, then that's really going to be the transformative point. Are we even there? We might be there.
I think it was higher than 1%, but it already tipped. I thought it already had a tipping point.
We did tip 31%.
We're at 31% now?
I heard that we tipped. That's why the Earth is changing, the weather's changing, everything's changing.
Okay. And I know people will look at the Earth now and feel bad, sorry, but I know this is what needs to happen with whatever's happening. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a dimensional infusion. And what that means is that we had several magnetic poles, energetic poles, that are coming into alignment with the geometric one. You know, and it's finally coming in. It happens over 27,000 years. And so now it's coming back into alignment. So things are shifting and altering and changing. And we need it. It's like a reboot, like our computers need to be rebooted sometime, new programs. So Mother Earth, it goes through the same thing. So all the poles are lining up. That means we're more energies coming in. Especially with ego. Ego is more masculine related.
Okay.
And now the feminine quality is very much needed. So that's adding to ego. So it's going to tone it down and make things more compatible and understanding and loving. So we need that nurturing energy. You know, maybe it'll calm down all these egotistic maniacs out there.
Well, let's hope for that. And I understand, and I know that you work with Saint Germain, and I love Saint Germain. Oh, and I didn't share this one picture that you did, Danielle, for us in Shasta. I just have to show that.
Yes, that's Al.
Al. Yes, that's right. But yeah, isn't that great? So that's beautiful. And you gifted everybody that came to Shasta with this picture, and maybe you can talk about it in a second. But here's Saint Germain, and for those who don't know Saint Germain, let's see, is that showing up?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's known as the Wonder Man of Europe in the 1700s. He looked the same for 100 years, spoke every language, traveled by thought, fed the poor, and worked for peace. He took his body into light and now works with humanity, mostly from the lighter realms.
Yes.
He precipitated this photograph into the hands of Godfrey Ray King. I mean, that's kind of amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Many people believe that Mt Shasta is Saint Germain is very connected to Mt Shasta, but I don't think you have to be at Mt Shasta to connect with Saint Germain.
No, not necessarily, but I know that there's a lot of portholes up there. And I know Saint Germain is Palladian. He came here many eons ago to help Mother Earth and help us and to evolve. And I know, and I told Danielle several months ago that one day she was traveling up in Mt Shasta area. I told her that. I said, you're astral traveling up there in Mt Shasta. And we took it with a grain of salt. She didn't think anything of it. You know, we didn't think anything of it. But later on, then she was going to take this trip to Ireland, right?
Well, yeah. I kept going on the astral to Mt Shasta, and then you emailed and invited me to come.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it. But then that night, I swear, the day that you sent me the email, that night I went to bed and I had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. I mean, it didn't go fully, completely through the top of my head. It was stuck around the neck. But he told me that had happened. And it was like the same day that you invited me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going because I'm going to the root chakra of the earth. And I keep going there on the astral anyways. I mean, I need to go there. So I think it had something to do with my Kundalini happening. Then I got there. You know, I did see Saint Germain one time in meditation while I was there. Michael said that I worked with him in the 1700s in Europe.
1700s, yeah.
That I was an alchemist with him.
With
and my friend Sam, yeah. And then there was another life where I was a gypsy witch in a caravan where I worked with him.
Yes.
Too. So I've had multiple lives already that I knew about. I mean, only from him telling me. But so I went up there for myself to connect better with St. Germain. But what ended up happening is I bought Michael this print while I was there.
Interesting story.
Of St. Germain.
Yeah.
And Michael goes and gets his hair done.
You won't believe it.
And it ended up this color. So when he was like stripping the color out of his hair, he was so upset about his hair color. And then I give him this print and he's like, wait a minute.
I said, wait a minute. Is this a message, from Saint Germain, getting my hair turned red? And then when she said that, then I felt that connection with Saint Germain. He embodied with me and shared with me. I felt connected with him.
Yeah, I feel that strong right now as you say that.
And I feel like I'm one with him now.
Okay.
It's amazing. Yes. And I always have him in my invocations. I do invocations before every session.
Me too. I do Saint Germain's invocations as well.
Oh, nice. And then I add him in. I always add him in. Always have. And so now this integrated, and I asked, why did this occur, Saint Germain, or Count? I call him Count. And he said, well, you're in league. You're coming into the league of our energies. So you're part of that. You are that. So I said, wow, I was so honored. And so I get emotional just thinking and talking about it. And he says, I'm in league with the alchemist group. So I'm excited.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Now Saint Germain is working with him at his appointments. Saint Germain comes in all the time.
All the time.
And they merge energy together and work on people.
Yes.
It's so nice.
Yes, beautiful. So you've just kind of a recent thing then with Saint Germain. Is that right?
Very recent.
Okay. Yes.
Even though I implemented them all these years, but this is the best connection that I had with him.
Yes, yes.
But he said that my going to Mt Shasta somehow made him connect better.
Yes.
Sure.
But I don't understand why.
Because you're connected heart to heart.
Yes.
I mean, I can see it.
Yes.
The two of you. It's a heart to heart connection here. So whatever you're doing is you guys are one.
Oh, thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well,
that's sweet.
That is very sweet. Thank you so much.
And Saint Germain comes in on the violet flame. People talk about the violet flame.
Yes.
And one of the things we could just say, I am a purity of God's desire. I am. Oh my gosh! I just saw, when I'm trying to think of it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of one of the.
I'll call on Saint Germain of the violet transmitting flame to transmit any and all negativity into a high vibration.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my invocation with him.
Mm-hmm.
I always use that every session.
But I bought that print for him and myself. I got myself a print because this one in particular, he's holding that Merkaba.
Yes. Yes.
Right there. And Michael's massage table that he has you lay on is inside of a copper Merkaba shape. So I go, oh, he'll like this. He's always calling on Saint Germain, and it's got the Merkaba.
Yeah.
I'll get him this print, which looks more redhead in this print than in any of the other artwork. He's usually blonde.
There you go. There it is. Emerald Buddha says, I am a being of violet fire. I'm the purity God desires. That's it. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you.
Okay. Very good.
Yes.
Great.
So what do you think now? Because I know St. Germain is all around the world, but I know many people see him at Mt Shasta or, feel his presence or whatever. And I know he was there every day with us. There's no question about that. He was there, whether we noticed it or not. We may not have been aware, but I know he was. So what do you feel like? How does St. Germain now, well, you talk about he's with you in your work that you're doing. So how does he affect your shamanic practice, would you say?
Well, he stimulates the energies that, depending on what individual I'm working with and what's going on in the different chakras with them, and mainly a lot in the heart energy, energy. You know,
Yeah.
so he's been able to sustain and help me and release the negative energies and transmute it, you know, and he's been able to help me a lot. And then we're able to even transform the energies into positive energies. So I even had a client that had lung cancer, and he came in and he barely come in on a wheelchair with an oxygen tank. He can barely get on the table. Worked on some heart chakra energy with St Germain, and each time he came in 4 times, and each time he got better and better. And the last time he practically ran in and jumped in, and I couldn't believe it. It was the same man.
Yeah.
He's doing so much better now, and now they had him condemned, but no way, this guy is going to do great, and he's making it. So I know it does help, and he's
Yes.
and I've done other work with cancer people too.
Yes. Yes.
The energy does work.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So now let's see. If Saint Germain were to, I'm going to have some other questions to make sure I'm getting my. If he were to be in 3D today, what message would he like to bring us? Or even if he's not in 3D?
Well, I think he does come into 3D and out.
He comes in and out all the time.
Yeah.
I've heard that too.
You'll see him, and then all of a sudden he's not there, and then he's there. It's pretty interesting how he's to do that.
Yeah. What do you think he'd want to tell us today? Love yourself. I hear love yourself.
Absolutely. Love yourself is 100% correct. You need to do that. Nobody seems to understand that or resonate with that. And I know that's one of the service that he can provide. He brings that energy in, that unconditional love.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's hard. I think people negative self-talk.
Yeah. We always think about
they're critical of themselves and all that stuff. Yes. It's like you have to just grow the heart.
Heart energy.
Yes. Yes. Now, and we have, our Earth future. We will maybe just go for a couple more minutes or so here. We have the Lion's Gate coming up, 8/8, coming up. That's only in 5 days.
Oh, yes.
And I always feel like St. Germain is part of that, with the transmutation of the violet flame, the Lion's Gate. And I'm wondering how we can all together here manifest a more beautiful earth, even through the Lion's Gate, if that's one of the things we want to put into that portal, the energetic portal that day.
Well, if we can, I don't know how we can do this, but if we can set up a time frame where everybody is meditating in that particular time and influence one another, that we can open up this Lion's Gate even more and have it stronger.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you should do a live meditation to
good
on
idea.
8/8.
Yes, that's a good idea. And I think it would either be 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. somehow. But then which time zone are we talking about?
Oh.
That's hard.
Well, the 8 a.m. would be probably more effective.
I think so too. I think I'm going to do 8 a.m. Central because that's my time zone.
Okay.
There you go.
But that would be
in the center of America too. Like you're in the center, so that
yeah. Okay, I like that. Even if it's just for 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And because I think that we are manifesting our future Earth, all of us together here.
Totally.
And in this community. And here's Amanda hear what she's saying. Hi, Amanda. I'm wearing my whale tail necklace I got from Genuine Hippie in Shasta. Okay, for Lionsgate. Okay. A genuine hippie. Is there such thing as a fake hippie? I don't know.
I don't know. I've never met a fake hippie. I've seen a lot of hippies.
I don't know. Have we grown out of that phase? I don't know. But is there anything that you guys want to share with anybody before we go? I want to just let everybody know. So, Michael, your website is mylightcenter.com.
Yes.
And Danielle, the Unordinary Made Ordinary
YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. I did want to mention that you were the one that when my Kundalini first came through the top of my head. We were at Mt Shasta. You did a little energy work, and you said that I had dragon energy.
Yes.
You're the one who said it. And then a week later, I get back and I wake up. I needed a little help from my spirit team. And I look over and I saw a dragon was next to me.
Oh, wow.
And I never had seen a dragon before. I never had a dragon around before. And all of a sudden, you're the one who said it. And next thing you know, there's a dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting chills on that. I think it's for your protection. You know what I mean?
He was definitely being protective that night because I was being messed with. And he was red when I first saw him. Mm-hmm. And Michael says his color changes, and I've seen him blue.
Yeah, I was going to say blue.
Yeah. I've seen him these other colors when he's real chill, but when he was angry and protective, he was red with these like gold, like side flares on his face. And that's how I first saw him. I didn't know he was angry, but I knew he was there to help me.
Yes.
But he's so great, and his name is Puff, the magic dragon. I didn't name him. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's
okay.
He said, and he's so cute. The other night, I laying in bed, and all my animals they laid all around me, so I can't move in my blankets. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing them all tuck in around me, and I look over, and Puff was also right there.
Oh my goodness.
So even he was like nestled up next to the bed, next to us, like we're a little family. It was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. My daughter has also dragons for her that she would see when she was little. They'd walk to school with her on an airplane. They'd be on the wings of the plane.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
On the roof of the house. Yep. Wow. And when one birthday, we were going camping, and I bought her a little stuffed dragon. And it was black, I think. And before she even knew she had this gift, she said, "I have a new dragon. It's black." And she was like 12, I want to say 12. Yeah. I mean, she wasn't a baby.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I love it. I told Puff already, I don't care if he gets a lady dragon and they have babies. I just want him to stay with me. Fill up my house with dragons.
Yes. That's beautiful, you guys.
I'm seeing more dragons come in to my sessions with individuals. So I don't know what it is. It must be the dragon period or time or something.
I think they haven't gone anywhere. My feeling is it's just when we're aware of something, or we know that there's that potential, we're going to see it more often.
You're right.
It's just our awareness has changed.
That's true. And I think that because of the dimensional infusion, the awareness of that nurturing energy, the feminine energy is coming in, making it stronger and better.
Yes.
And so I think that's why we're picking up so much more now. It's very interesting. Danielle and I were always sharing something,
Oh, we talk on the phone or text message. Like, I'm not kidding. We're like 12-year-old girls with our phones. I have to talk to him like a couple times a week, and we're sending each other like text messages about our weird stuff that's happening daily. And then, and then there's them dancing emojis and
oh my goodness, you guys. Amanda has a question. She says, "Did the fairies take my selenite wand?" I don't feel like it was fairies. I feel like it was somebody else, but I don't know.
Can you tell?
What's that?
Amanda wants to know if the fairies took her selenite wand.
Oh, no.
What was it?
I don't think so either.
I think it looked like a nature spirit, or he looks like one. He looks like he's.
Is that like the little Peter Pan ones, or
Peter Pan one? He looks mischievous, and he took it.
I think it's something like that too. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Woo! You guys, this has been so much fun.
Sometimes when the fairies take my stuff, or to get my stuff back, sometimes you can make a swap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
Because they've taken my Apple Pencil, and that's $100. So now I've got 2 Apple Pencils just in case one goes missing. But I'll make a new fairy house if they give me my pencil back, kind of thing. And I'll get it back.
She'll get it back. Yeah.
Takes a few days, but.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate us sharing this this wonderful fun and light information, and how we can help the earth, and how we can bring in fairies and work with St. Germain, and what an eclectic, and dragons as well, right?
I think if you're having fun, then you're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
So anyway, and thank everybody for joining us today. It's great to see all the people who came from Mt Shasta and everybody else, because it doesn't matter whether you were there or not. It's the energy that we share together that we come together in that. So
absolutely.
It's the love energy, really. It's a love fest. Here we are, a love fest again.
Yeah, very good.
I love it.
Love it.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
thanks for having us.
Bye-bye. Thanks for
Thank
having me.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.